Welcome to day one at Darwin and Business and Leadership Conference video log, and you are about to be informed. You know how I told you success is contagious? That's what I believe. Well, if you believe in that as well, these conferences are a place to be because boy, oh boy, are there successful people here. Oh my goodness. Well, let's get started. It started off with Bernard Salt, who was very funny, very well informed, did his research, and he talked about how physiotherapy uh, is in relation to all of Australia and where people are moving and whatnot. And he said physiotherapy is looking to be a really good career in the next couple of decades, especially with the baby boomer population getting older and older. And so they still want to travel, and so they need therapy or they want to be fit. So that's where physios come in, younger population as well. So what else did we talk about? We talked about communication with the healthcare industry and with other patients. Here's an example for healthcare industry. There was a doctor who prescribed the same medication to the same patient twice on the same day because the patient moved from one ward to another in the same hospital, and the doctor said that the two systems don't communicate, so he didn't realize he prescribed the same meds to the same guy on the same day. So our communication systems need to be improved on. Secondly, communication with other patients. The speaker said, Mark Murley, he said that we spend about 0.007% of our time with one particular patient in a week on average. And that is very interesting because that's not a lot of time for change. And so he was suggesting different technologies and applications that are coming out that can be used to increase our interactions so we can get our feedback and whatnot. It's very interesting because more technology isn't necessarily better, and this was made point by some of the physiotherapists who asked some questions. And the question was like, how will I get paid for the extra time that I'm putting in? She said that I spend an hour every single day on emails. Am I supposed to spend another hour on the interactive uh, feedback thing? And she said how it's an unpaid hour. You're not getting paid for that hour. So how do you overcome that challenge while providing more time with a patient? Well, we don't have an answer to that. It's open to discussion. These people are talking about it. Can you think of a solution? What else? Communication. We were talking about communication. Well, it added on, there were a few more speeches on communication, and there's a talk by Bernadette Brady. She actually did ethno-cultural influences on chronic pain a few months ago in Sydney. And a few of us actually went to see her lecture, APA lecture. Very interesting. She did about a very similar thing at this conference, and it was very well informed. Annette Tonkin talked about why telling your patients what to do doesn't work and what does work. Basically, it's very similar to what David Kennedy is trying to tell us. He's trying to tell us, like, how the words that we use have a big influence on how the patients adhere to the exercise program. And Helena Popovic, the next speaker, talked about the 7 habits of effective physiotherapists, which also involves communication. So I'm just going to go straight to that. Here are the 7 things. Think, can do attitude. Don't think I cannot do this. Instead of can't, replace it with how. How can I do this? How can I solve this problem? So those are the first 2. 3, treat people, not apples. We don't work at Woolies, or not all of us, but people are not apples. We want to give people our full attention. We want to be attentive. Have a gratitude box. Be grateful for things. It makes a difference. Find some time to just sit down and just reflect. No distractions, nothing, just sit down and relax. Think feedback, not failure. We make mistakes all the time. I probably make more mistakes than most other people, but think of it as something you can learn from and get better, because that's how you get better, by making mistakes and learning. It's okay to make mistakes. And yeah, we just want to have a positive attitude and language. Again, she talked about language. Language plays a very important role in how physiotherapists interact with our clients. That's day one of the conference. Stay tuned for day two. Thank you for pitching in.